Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner studio, and with me we have Chef Biagio Vignola.
Very good. Very good.
Come on, now tell us how to say it in Italian there.
Biagio Vignola would be the name.
And the restaurant?
The restaurant is Osteria Maria. It's on South Royal Avenue across from Spelunkers.
That's what we call Osterio.
Yeah, Osteria, yeah. And what do I usually hear? Osterias is what I usually hear, yeah.
It's close enough.
It works.
Well, one thing about it, it's a great place to eat.
Yeah.
So what's happening later this month?
We're having an opera at the beginning, at the very end of August, the first 2 days of the last week of August. So we have some professional opera singers from the Shenandoah Conservatory who sing all over the country. Melissa Chavez and her friends coming. They'll be putting on, this time we're doing greatest hits of different operas.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes we put on a piece of an actual opera.
Right.
But this time we're going to do greatest hits because that's what's the most requested thing.
So that's what people recognize.
Yeah, that is true.
That's true.
And so the previous owner of the restaurant, Vincenzo Belvito, put on this opera, I think 3 or 4 times. Mm-hmm. It was very popular, but it was a lot of work. So for the last few years after COVID, he stopped doing it. And when I took over the restaurant, John Marlow actually himself asked me, hey, Vincenzo used to do this opera. Why don't you do that again?
Yeah.
We like that. So
that's great. And
we unfortunately lost John Marlow this year, but this is the first opera. The Marlows never missed a single opera, ever. So we're dedicating these two to John, his memory. He was a great man in Front Royal. Did a lot for the town.
So they're going to do this for 2 nights. So there's only 2 performances.
Yes.
So we're going to be limited. They seat about 50 people, I understand, in your restaurant.
They do. Yeah.
So we'll have it's a limited performance. Yep. 100 people. That's it.
Yeah. 100 tickets. 100 tickets to go. So we've started selling them. We just released the flyer right now.
Okay.
Yesterday we released it for the first day, and we've got a few reservations already coming in, which is good. So
let's talk about the menu that we'll be serving on those nights.
Yeah, we do a prefixed. The restaurant's not prefixed like some of the restaurants in the area, but we do a prefixed menu for the event. 4 courses. We make everything there. We serve everything at the same time. The first course is going to be a late summer salad, local items, apples and things like that. The second course is going to be a traditional Italian butternut squash tortellone, which we make all our pasta in-house there. So that takes, one of the boys will be making those pasta shapes for 5 hours straight probably in the kitchen one of those days. The third course will be braised short rib with potatoes and spinach. And then the last course will be Italian style cheesecake, creme brulee style. So brulee on the top. So it'll be hard.
Yeah. Nothing tastes better than fresh pasta.
No, that's true.
I mean, you know what I mean?
True.
There's just something. You see how I'm doing this already?
Yeah, I know. You're becoming Italian. Spend too much time with me.
I know, but it's true. My wife makes some pasta once every 20 years, but it just tastes so much better. And there's nothing to it. I mean, in a way there is, but if you use the right everything, it just comes out so good.
Yeah, French food is the great cuisine of Europe, but Italian food focuses on very simple ingredients, but you have to have very high quality ingredients in order for it to be good. So technical skill is not as important as having, a perfect ingredient. Whereas in French food, it's mostly technique driven.
Right. Well, Chef, tell us a little bit more about just the restaurant because, you're kind of tucked away out there on the corner of Royal and
like
South Street.
Yeah.
But it's been there a long time. It's been a lot of different restaurants.
Yes. I went to the courthouse once and I found the original DBA. It was from 1941. It was Blue Ridge Steakhouse and Seafood, and it's been a restaurant pretty much nonstop since.
Yeah. So what sets your restaurant apart than other things? And you can't really get the kind of cuisine that you serve at your restaurant.
Yeah, well, I moved to the area originally. I live in Rappahannock County, Little Washington. We moved 5 years ago, my wife and I, because I had a job offer at the Inn of Little Washington to cook. So I was then cooking in Maryland, and a chef that I worked with had brought me down. So I stayed. Then COVID happened. I left. And during COVID, I went to go work at a slaughterhouse in town, Blue Ridge Meats, and I was there for almost a year and a half. And one day, my bosses took me to Osteria 510, which was Vincenzo's restaurant for my birthday, to eat. And I met the owner. We struck up a conversation, and he ended up saying, "Yeah, I'm retiring. Why don't you buy this place, please?" And I said, "Oh, what are you going to sell a restaurant for, $500,000?" And he goes, "No, much less. Just, I want to go to Florida. Please, take it from me."
That's right.
So he gave us a very generous deal. We bought it from him. And we just started. We got to work.
Yeah. It's different. So what kind of things are on the menu? Just kind of so people can get an idea. Do you open just for dinner? You open for lunch?
We're open for lunch from 12 to 2. Then we close to do preparations for dinner. We open again from 5 to 9. This is Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay.
We're closed every week, Sunday and Monday.
Okay.
So that we can relax.
Let's talk a little bit about lunch, because that's something people, they keep going to the same places all the time for lunch. So let's see, what could we expect,
Well, at lunchtime we have a reduced menu of our dinner menu, a little bit cheaper and a little bit quicker.
A little smaller maybe.
Yeah, a little bit smaller, but not much smaller. Because our portions are already not, massive. They're pretty reasonably.
But they fill you up, don't they?
They do. Yeah, with egg and flour pasta.
Sure.
It's very filling. But we have a Neapolitan pizza oven as well, which a friend of ours wanted pizza, so they bought us an oven and said. So I actually pay my friend back $1.25 every pizza I sell, probably for it'll be another 4 or 5 years. Those things are not cheap.
Yeah.
But so we make me and one of my cooks went to DC and we were trained by a professional, the ambassador of Neapolitan pizza to the East Coast,
Right.
on how to make proper Neapolitan pizza, which is by far the hardest pizza to make. Extremely temperamental, and the oven is extremely hot. We use a wood fire oven.
And you constantly you got to watch it, because you can't just set the thermostat. Can you?
No, we have logs. We throw them in there, and if you throw too many logs in there, you can't make pizzas.
Yeah.
If you throw too few logs in there, you can't make pizzas. So
Yeah.
it's a very fine line. We ride at around 800 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right.
Is the ideal. 750 to 800 is where the ideal temperature is.
So we get a little typical pasta meals.
Yep.
No SpaghettiOs.
No SpaghettiOs. No, we do make everything except for the spaghetti for the spaghetti meatballs, which we keep on because that's a very popular dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what people.
A little Italian American, but that's
Yeah.
okay because I'm Italian American.
Yeah, that's what we know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like.
And it's very good.
Yeah, it's what they say about Mexican food. They don't serve that food in Mexico.
No, they don't. No.
Or Chinese food. It was invented in America.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well,
Our food is a lot of our food is there. In Italy, we go every September to Italy. We close the restaurant for a month and go, and I have a good few friends back there. And one of them was talking to me last year, and he said, "What food do you serve there?" And I said, Italian food. He's like, "Oh, well, here there's no Italian food."
That's right.
There's regional food, but there's no Italian food.
Yeah.
That's an American invention.
It's what they said about the pizzas. In Italy, the pizza, they don't use imported cheese. But here we use imported cheese, so it's much better.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, so it's a lot different. Well, I'm glad you're there. It's great. It gives us a nice little culture to our community.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It is a very good community, and the people have been very good to us since we moved here.
Well, we appreciate it. Now, tell us the dates again for the opera.
The 26th and 27th, it's $105 a person, the $25 deposit, just to make sure that people show up. Because a lot of the times we have a lot of people make reservations, we fill the reservations, and then the day of, just people don't show up, and so we've already bought the food, we've already prepared it, so that's unfortunate. So we do that for that reason. It'll be 15 or so minute sets in between each course. The opera singers will go up and down the aisle, which is very nice. And it's interactive. We print out a guide so that people can follow along, because the opera's in French or Italian or whatever language that they're singing in that day.
So they have a cheat sheet to go
Yeah, a
along
little
with
cheat sheet. That was the first time we did it. We didn't have one, and John Marlow came up to me afterwards and said, "That was nice, but I have no idea what was going on the entire time because I don't know what they're saying." So all right, next time we'll make sure that we print something out for you all.
Follow the bouncing ball, right?
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Of course.
It's great. Well, it's great you're doing that. It's something you've done, I know, in the past and will continue to do. And
Absolutely.
And again, it's a nice little treat for the 100 that can get in the door.
Yeah, of course.
So act quick. If you something you're interested in doing, just go to your website.
Yep, our website, or call the restaurant.
And I'll put that information in the story so people can see the number and the web address, and we'll go from there.
That would be great. Yeah, so just call and we'll put you down, and we hope to see you there.
All right. Thanks again, Chef. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.